It is Sunday night. It's January 28th, 2024, the last January episode of the Kicking Out podcast. I'm Tanner Lee. I'm your KOP predictions champion. Joining me, like always, my co-host, Austin Shepard, aka the Shep, whatever you want to call him. I don't know. We got a lot of names we can call him, but we'll just call him Shep for now. And his tagline down there says FTR the GOAT.
Come on, can you argue that? Nope.
Heck of a match with House of Black last night in the cage, and we'll get to that in a little bit. Other co-host Paul Zartman, the wise man, can't be joining us tonight. Unfortunately, had some technical difficulties going on with his computer technology. Gotta love it when it works. Hate it when it doesn't. So hopefully he'll be back with us next Sunday night.
Hopefully.
But man, Shep, it's a fun time to be a pro wrestling fan.
I mean, has there been any news this week? This is a question. I mean, did anything happen in professional wrestling this week?
Man, I don't even know where to start. There was a lot of positive and a lot of negative.
I mean, how about R-Truth getting in both Rumbles? That's what you're talking about, right? That's the news, right?
Oh, the guy's a legend. He is a national treasure.
Oh man. He entered on 24 in both Rumbles too, by the way.
He's classic. He is just classic.
The hot tag from Dom was great.
It was. Whole crowd was getting into it. I don't know if you caught this or not. I tuned in for a little bit of a kickoff show last night. I don't normally do that, but he was backstage in the Tampa Bay Rays batting cage area, and he had a bunch of baseballs. He was trying to open them up because he thought that was a type of ball that the Rumble draws were in. And
the best on Friday night when he drew his actual number and he looked at Nick Aldis and said, "Boy, Adam, you grew hair really quick."
And he called him Mr. Pierce too, right before that.
Yeah. I literally could watch that guy all day long.
Oh, he's great. He's great. He knows how to be comedic, and he can go in the ring too. And he just
for 52 years old, that guy is in impeccable shape.
Oh my gosh, he doesn't look his age at all.
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah. At all. You know what? This is just the soft spot mark coming out in me, but I'd like to see that guy get I don't think he's going to get a world championship reign, but give that guy an intercontinental or a U.S. championship reign. Give him one last run here in his 50s. Not only can he be entertaining in the ring, but you know what he does backstage and on the mic would be awesome. So
he could probably sell some merch too.
Look at all the cash he made for Dom and Damien, right?
Yeah.
And those were $100 bills. Those weren't counterfeit.
That's true.
He didn't count JD in though. He took I ain't counting you in, JD.
JD is a little mad at him after last night too.
Anyways, this is an AEW podcast.
It is an AEW podcast, but I do want to hit on it a little bit. In the past we've made a lot of jokes and a lot of taglines and sayings about Vince McMahon. We're not going to harp on it too much. It's been covered really well by journalists and everybody this week. But just we're gonna let everybody know going forward, we're not gonna do any more. There's no more Uncle Vinny gimmick to lean into. No more of that. We won't be saying a lot of his sayings or anything like that. So that's all I really want to cover on that topic.
Yeah, no, I think we let that go to bed and let that rest and move on with the positive in professional wrestling right now, because there is a shit ton of positivity around professional wrestling in all companies right now, and let's focus on that and forget about the other stuff.
I agree, and even though we're an AEW podcast, we're going to start with talking about the Royal Rumble. But first, Shep, I got a question for you. What are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm drinking. Don't get me wrong. Hold on. I got rid of those energy drinks. Wonder where? Do you ever know where those went?
I got one that I'm about to give a taste review myself here. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not going to lie.
I think I passed those on. No, it's been a good Sunday watching football. Had a couple beers earlier, and I literally thought about Well, I did. I went through the liquor store today, and I'm looking at those 24-ounce beers, and there was just so many good ones, like the King Cobras and the malt liquors, and I'm just like, man, I could get really hood on this podcast, but those just did not sound good. So again, we're going with our original. We're going with the no name vodka because no such thing as a free ad, you assholes.
They won't even give me a follow back or anything.
We can't even tag them in a
nope
text or a tweet. Sorry, and no, little club soda, little flavored club soda in here, and if I got a full one, and so it's just if Tanner night tonight, if you see me dip out, I'm just going around the corner making a new one. I'll be right back.
Yep.
Give me 30 seconds. Tanner will keep on talking, but we might have 2 of these tonight. So cheers.
Let's go. Like Michael McLean right here on YouTube says, let's go. He's a loyal listener and viewer of ours. He reached out to our podcast last night on Twitter to let us know that he and his family had some inspiration from our podcast. They did a confidence pick with the Rumble last night. Nice. And they had a championship belt and everything, and he was lucky enough to take it home last night. So, yeah. Very cool.
It's because of all of our insight that he listens to gave him the little bit of an advantage. So,
yeah.
Michael, you're welcome.
And I got to give you and Paul props. You guys were, or it might have been you. I think you picked Cody and Bailey. Paul went with Punk and Bailey. I went with Punk and Becky. So I was over 2. You were 2 for 2, and Paul was 1 for 2. Thank God I didn't put the belt on the line.
Yeah, it's just a little preview for Revolution.
Oh boy. Well, let me go ahead and give my review on this. Shep thought this was absolutely terrible last week. So got the Woo Energy, the Ric Flair Sip Energy and Focus Mushroom Blend. Strawberry banana. I'm not very excited about this. Doesn't smell awful, but I kind of get that little cough syrup smell.
I'm not an energy drink guy. That was my caveat. That's my little claim there. So that's a good one.
Yeah. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I wouldn't go out and buy a 6-pack of these.
The aftertaste is still there, isn't it?
Yeah, it hangs around for a while. I was looking at the supplements, and I know you read some of them last week. I mean, vitamin B12, it's 5,000% of vitamin B12 in this thing.
That's a lot.
I don't even know what exactly vitamin B12 is. I don't know all my vitamins off the top of my head.
I think, I mean, it's Ric Flair, so vitamin B12 will give you a little bit of that, right?
Yeah. So, well, I'll be finishing this during the episode just because you were kind enough to give Paul and I some. But
so a little bit of a disclaimer: since it's just Tanner and I tonight, he drinks that whole energy drink. He's a freshly married man, boys and girls. So if he has to end it quickly, I mean, I can carry on the show. We can go. We can go a lot of rabbit holes on my own.
we can go down a couple rabbit holes on that topic, but we won't. We will not. But Michael, Cody Rhodes and Braun Breaker saved my night. Braun Breaker, heck of a performance last night. Sounds like he is going to be on the main roster from now on. So kudos to that dude.
According to Meltzer, it sounds like the Breaker spot was he was inserted and they took Brock out.
Yes.
They decided to hold Brock back because of some of the other shit we talked about earlier, whatever. But Braun Breaker came in and looked awesome.
That dude hits the ropes so fast. My God.
So athletic. So built. Obviously, he's the son of Rick Steiner.
Yes.
So
nephew Scott Steiner, of course.
Nephew to the legendary mathematic Scott Steiner.
Yes.
Maybe the greatest mathematic promo of all time.
It's gotta be.
Because he's the big booty daddy. Yes. But anyways, I've liked his work at NXT. I've seen some of his stuff. So the stuff with him and Baron Corbin have been good. He was NXT champion before that. Kind of took a break there and didn't watch it for a little bit, but like seeing him on the main roster. He made a tweet that the main roster is his new home. Yep. So yeah, excited to see what he can do. And he young talent and just full of piss and vinegar. So you gotta love it.
Did you watch the whole pay-per-view or just the men's Rumble?
I watched the women's Rumble, fast forwarded, and then watched the men's Rumble. Men's. I did not watch the middle stuff.
I watched it all last night. We didn't have a lot going on. My wife actually watched it with me. She's trying to get into it, but so far she just can't.
You didn't give her any vitamin B last night, did you?
No. Not last night.
That's your problem. You need to burn off of that Ric Flair sip.
I gotta just keep chugging this down, I guess. If you don't like it, learn to love it. That's what Rick says right there. So.
What it says.
But I watched it all. I mean, yeah, the middle two matches, yeah. I mean, you knew Roman wasn't going to lose. You knew Logan Paul wasn't going to lose. Except I thought the creative finish at the end of that match was pretty good. But women's Rumble was pretty sloppy, I thought. I thought that last 6 or so was pretty good. Jade Cargill, man, she shined. She looked good.
The thing that stood out for me was I love that they brought Jordan Grace in from TNA.
Yep.
They acknowledged her. They acknowledged her as a champion. They gave her a pretty good showing. The bump she took to be eliminated was a very, very strong bump, and it was from Bianca. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that hurt her at all. I love that her and Naomi hugged in the middle of the ring and then immediately started beating the shit out of each other. Mm-hmm. Shows their little history there. The only thing, I'm nitpicking here, right? The only thing I did not like about Jordan Grace being in the Rumble was Triple's post scrum when he was brought up and he said, I'm not going to talk about all that gimmick bullshit, a door and this and that door. Like, he is seriously butthurt about companies working together, and then all of a sudden he does it, which I applaud him for doing it. Yes. But you need to acknowledge that other people do it, and there's a reason they call it the Forbidden Door, because it's never been done before.
And I think he's butthurt because they've been trying to sign Ospreay, Mercedes. Not that she's all elite yet, but signs point towards her being Okada. Same thing. Not that he's signed yet, but all signs are pointing towards all elite. I mean, they're trying to go after these New Japan talents, and they're striking out. So I think he's holding that against AEW a little bit and doesn't want to call it the Forbidden Door.
Yeah, but other than that,
yep.
I enjoyed her in the Rumble. I enjoyed Jade Cargill debuting in the Rumble. So,
hey, look who joined us there on Facebook. Our buddy Paul, the wise man, said, "Told you Bailey would win the Women's Rumble." Yeah, you did.
So did I, Paul.
Yeah,
so did I.
Good call.
But you didn't pick the Men's Rumble, Paul.
Yeah, thank God you're right, Shep. I think we're gonna get it. We're at least gonna get Cody against Roman at WrestleMania 40.
So I think you're gonna get Cody Roman night 1.
Night 1. Okay, I'll hear you.
Listen, easy, Paul. I know. Easy, Tanner. Don't come jumping through the screen at me. I think you're gonna get them night 1. He finishes the story. The celebration happens in the ring. The cameras follow Roman to the backstage, and he is met by a Rock to show him how disappointed he is, how he let the family down. He is no longer the head of the table. They get into a scuffle, and there's your main event night 2. You get to incorporate the story and the Rock both nights. Best of both worlds. We all win. It's almost like a damn Democrat is writing the story. Okay? We all win. We all get our trophy, but I think that is how this goes.
If anybody saw my face there, this drink's getting worse the more I drink it.
And after the news, I told you, I'm not lying.
It's not good. I'm gonna drink it all, but it's not good.
I tried to put it with vodka.
Yeah, that didn't even work.
That didn't work, and I love vodka. even with the announcement of The Rock on the board of TKO, big announcement this week, board of directors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think he has to be involved in WrestleMania 40. It's the 40th anniversary of crying out loud. It's in Philadelphia, where, if I'm not mistaken, him and Stone Cold had an amazing WrestleMania pay-per-view.
That was their first of 3 that they would meet up in WrestleMania. Yep, WrestleMania 15.
And if you read JR's book, they went to JR and said, "We want you to call this match." JR was coming back from his cerebral palsy on his face and was nervous about that. So, I mean, legendary Philadelphia, legendary spot. It's the 40th anniversary. Rock's involved, but I think that's how we do it. That's how you get Rock involved for night 2. Is Roman comes through the curtain, he's upset, and then Rock just says, "You're a disgrace, you're a piece of shit," yada yada yada. We go to night 2.
I like it. I'm gonna book something similar, but a little different. I think night 1 is Punk and Rollins. I still think they go that direction. I think night 2 is Cody and Roman. I think Cody does finish the story. However, during the match, Solo tries to interfere. The Rock makes the save, doesn't let him interfere. Cody wins. He wins clean because The Rock doesn't help him. He's just getting Solo out of the way. So, but he doesn't help, doesn't attack Roman or anything. Cody wins, finish the story, big celebration. Afterwards, there's an angle between The Rock and Roman to set up a match at WrestleMania 41. So you get a whole year build, kind of like they did with Cena and The Rock. And gives them plenty of time to get in ring shape.
I don't think the guy's not in in-ring shape. If you do the way you're doing it, what about Rock Roman night after WrestleMania and Raw?
That'd be fun. That'd boost the big rating.
I mean, you talk about a Raw that's already usually loaded.
Yeah.
With a hot crowd, a hostile crowd. So,
I think the one thing, in my opinion, Roman Rock can't have the title on the line. The title on the line takes all the suspense of the match away, and the story itself is for the head of the table, not necessarily for the title between those two.
So if you look at The Rock, ultimately The Rock wants to put over Roman, right? Ultimately. So, okay, let's go with what you said, Tanner. Night 1,
Mm-hmm.
we get Punk Rollins. Night 2,
Mm-hmm.
we get Roman, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's out celebrating. Cameras follow Roman back. We don't see that, though. We don't see that till Monday at 8 o'clock. They show that footage. All of a sudden, we kick off with The Rock Monday after Raw. Calls out Roman. That sets up your main event. Rock goes over. All of a sudden, now Roman has a whole year to build this story up at how he's going to get his revenge and get his head of the table back at WrestleMania 41.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
I like that too. Paul brings up a good point. Says so many rumors say that they want Roman to beat Hogan's record. He can't beat that record if he drops it at Mania. Unfortunately, I'm hoping these rumors are wrong, but yeah, I guess what if they screw Cody over again, Shep? What if Cody still doesn't finish the story 2 years in a row at Mania?
If that is the case, then that is the ultimate. Go ahead, Tanner, put it up there. That's the ultimate fuck you by. That's the ultimate fuck you by Triple H because of what Cody did in his past.
Yeah.
Taking the sledgehammer to the throne, creating AEW. I think he did the first sledgehammer to the throne was in an NWA event, right? Was it NWA?
I thought the first one was the very first AEW event, which was 2019 Double or Nothing.
Okay. I couldn't remember that anniversary show. Him and Nick Aldis did it. So
that might be a T-shirt, Paul. I like that.
Ooh.
The
good job, Paul.
The
explicit. Yeah,
because Tanner 319 does need a new saying because that one I used. We kind of had
we got to retire that one.
Yeah.
But
Majin's got a good point here too. If that happens, then the WWE can't be trusted with long-term stories ever again.
well, it's different because of the way Cody did his character.
Yeah.
He left the WWE and said, "Your bullshit characters, I don't like. I can do this on the
Stardust.
I don't want to be dashing Cody Rhodes. I don't want to be Stardust. I don't want to be any of that stuff. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to bust my ass, do it the right way," which he did. Mm-hmm. And yeah, obviously I'm a Cody fan, even though he's not in AEW anymore. But if he comes back and if he comes back and does this, we've been following this for a year now, Tanner, right?
Yes.
I mean, the first gold the freaking guy got was tag team gold. Now, it was hilarious in the press conference post-scrum, but that was because they were drunk. But yeah, he's if he doesn't do it here, it's the ultimate FU. You are not a homegrown. You're a homegrown talent, but you're not a loyal talent, I guess would be what you said. And I'm going to do what I want to do because I'm Triple H. But
and I like what Cody's been saying this week. People have been asking him, like, do you have to finish the story at WrestleMania? He kind of said, no, not necessarily, but in my mind, yes. Because he said, if I lost to Roman clean last year, 1, 2, 3, it would have been one thing. But he said there was interference by Solo. So he goes, I got unfinished business. And he also, he's a cover boy of WWE 2K24. He said, if I don't finish the story by 2K25, don't even put me near the cover. Don't even put me in the game. So I kind of like that. So
I hope that's not a consolation prize.
Michael on YouTube said, imagine Gunther hosts an open challenge at Mania for the IC belt, and then we get the Okada coin drop. Mania crowd would know how to react to Okada way better than a Rumble crowd, in my opinion.
I like that. I don't think we'll get that, but I like that.
Well,
hold on. Yeah. I don't like it because I want Okada in AEW.
Yeah.
But if you're going to debut a superstar, what better stage to debut him on?
I agree 100%. I'm hoping he's all elite, and I'm hoping we see that Revolution shortly after. But if not, if he does sign with the WWE, Mania is a perfect place to debut. Yeah. I agree with that. So, and I'm mad, and I mean, I'm glad that they're not going in this direction, assuming all these reports are true. But I'm mad in the fact that we're not going to get Gunther and Brock Lesnar because I really wanted to see that match. But with everything that's come out last few days,
I'll take Braun Breaker and Gunther. I'll take Braun Breaker and Gunther.
Yeah, that's true.
And just to let you know, this, and I don't do it. I should, because I'm not that big of a degenerate. But I do a lot of online sports gambling, and there's a couple websites that let you do professional wrestling. And going into the week, Cody had went from the favorite down to, I think you could have got Cody at plus 650.
It's crazy.
Plus 650 winning the Rumble. So if you would have put $100 on Cody winning the Rumble, it would have paid you 650.
Yeah,
that's insane. So that lets you know, yeah, there's some dirt sheet guys in the back, but they're really, I mean, it's tight-lipped. It is
tight-lipped.
Because trust me, any sports gaming website is going to try to get any advantage they can. And they had Punk as the favorite to win. So
Yep. So, and which I enjoyed that. The men's Rumble I thought was fine. I didn't like that there wasn't many surprises at all. I'm Andrade, but we kind of predicted that was going to happen. Didn't get any Legends returns this year.
No, and I was pissed off the way they presented Pat McAfee.
Yeah, they made him look like a wuss. Which it was funny because of the guys in the ring, but it's like they made him look like the dude had WrestleMania matches before, and he made him look like a doofus.
Yeah, actually, the way they introduced him, and he came down, and he walked over, and he pushed Corey Graves into a seat. It was great. Like, McAfee's $1 million.
Yes, he's awesome.
I'm a huge McAfee fan. And then in the women's match, Cole talked about how he had a record of a minute 38 in the Rumble match, and he's the longest commentator. Blah blah blah. And I text you guys. I said McAfee's getting in the match, like he's gonna break it. They announce him. He goes in, and he's like, He teased it, comes back in, teased it, and then he leaves. I'm like, come on, man. You made this guy who had a banger match with Adam Cole, had a banger match with Austin Theory. You made him look like a puss, but
I thought like when he faked it and he got up on the turnbuckle second time, I thought he was gonna do like try to do a moonsault, and then Omos would like catch him and throw him out or something. And then I'm like, okay, at least he tried, but no, he's just like, nope, deuces. I'm not messing with this. So
I will listen. I listen to his show every day at noon while I eat my lunch. So I will tune in tomorrow to see what kind of shenanigans he has to say.
A few more here, and then we're gonna get an AEW. I promise.
Is this an AEW podcast, Tanner?
It is, but tonight.
I mean, we're on a roll.
26 minutes. It's not feeling like it, but Royal Rumble's a great event. It's arguably my favorite event in professional wrestling.
Mine too.
It's fun. Paul wants to know, speaking of Gunther, who takes the title off of him? Which is a great question because, man, he's on a roll. I mean, he's held the IC title longer than anybody else.
I got it. We got a ladder match. WrestleMania. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
R-Truth.
That would be awesome.
No, it's absolutely. R-Truth shows up for like a steel cage match or a Rumble match, right?
Yeah. Totally different. Because
just like he showed up for the Rumble a couple years ago and put a ladder in there. You
Where's
put
the
R-Truth.
briefcase?
Yeah. Where's it at? Yeah.
Yeah.
If you remember, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, the first time we had WrestleMania in Jerry's place in Dallas Stadium, Zack Ryder came out of nowhere and won the ladder match and won the IC title.
Yeah.
Now he dropped it the night, Monday after the next night. But that was a way to get the IC title. I can't remember who had the IC title at the time. That was a long time ago.
I think The Miz got it from him the night after. So The Miz might have went into WrestleMania as the champ.
But I think that'll be a way to get it off of Gunther.
Yeah.
Since we have no Brock.
Yep.
Unless you have a straight up Braun Breaker in Gunther, I can get along with that. But
make a star right away.
Yeah. If not, put a ladder match for it, and then that way, getting it off him takes eases the pain.
I mean, I watched that dude last night in the Rumble, and I'm like, I know he probably doesn't sell the merch. I mean, he's a heel right now. He doesn't sell the merch that they probably would want a world champion to sell. But my God, the way that guy works, it's like they need to get one of the big straps on him within the next year. He's so impressive. So impressive.
Can't talk worth a shit though.
Nah, he's getting better. But
I
thought he did pretty good with, I don't know if you listened to Busted Open's podcast from Friday. They interviewed a handful of superstars before the Rumble, and he did a pretty good job with that interview. So he's getting better. But man, some of those chops he laid in yesterday, unbelievable. Especially to Cody. He laid some in that were, oh my God.
Well, when your hand is 12 inches in diameter, you can get those to smack pretty good.
I was enjoying when he and McIntyre were having that chop fest. He would chop Cody, McIntyre chop Punk. Pretty good stuff. Which I thought all four of those, the final four guys, looked really good yesterday. So, and I know one of my bold predictions was for Drew Galloway to become all elite, but the way they're using him and put him in big spots, I don't think he's leaving.
I still think he does, but I don't think he comes to AEW. I think he goes back to TNA.
Yeah, they got if they got the cash, they got some momentum going their way. So if they got the cash, all right. So let's get on to AEW, shall we? We've talked enough about the brand in Connecticut, which is WWE. But once again, glad Cody Rhodes back-to-back Rumble champion, only the fourth one to do so, first guy since Steve Austin in '98. But good week of AEW action, I thought. We opened up with Dynamite Wednesday night. And we opened up with Samoa Joe coming out to speak, and he was addressing everything right away. He talked about Hook right away, and then Hook came out. Hook came out, shook his hand, but whispered that he doesn't know when or where, but he will see Joe again. Then Joe told security to get Hook out of the ring. So once again, I thought they did a good job making Hook look like a big time star there.
They did. I love that Hook came out, went toe to toe with him, shook his hand like a man. You were the better man the other night, but I'll be back. Thought it was great by Hook. And then I thought it was even better heelish Joe by saying, security, get this guy out of the ring.
Yep.
And then Hook had his way with some security guards, and then the real security guards jumped in the ring.
Yeah.
The guys you have seen for years.
Big boys.
The big boys that don't ever take bumps.
No,
those guys never take bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got in the ring, and then, Hook slid out and, hightailed it back. So
and they're really cool at shows too. If you've ever been to an AEW show live, they're cool. They always, I know when we were there, there was a little kid a few rows in front of us. One of them went over and gave him a sucker. He had a handful of suckers. He's looking for kids. And some of those guys can move, man. Remember that one that ran and jumped the guardrail? Oh my God. Yeah, they can move.
They're almost as quick as me.
Almost. I mean,
you guys haven't seen me in action yet, but
I mean, you might see Shep and Paris here this summer in the Olympics. I mean, kind of a breaking news spoiler there from KOP, but
yes, I'm on the finals of a lot of trial teams to go to Paris. That's all
we're talking Olympics. I thought we were talking beer Olympics. My bad. Oh man.
Oh, that's not part of the regular Olympics?
No, it should be. Should be.
Salute.
They're making everything else part of the Olympics anymore. So, anyway, the first actual match of Dynamite was Adam Hangman Page versus Penta. Good match, but like I say, and we knew Penta wasn't going to win, right? But we always complain on this podcast. We think Penta is money as a singles competitor. If they let him go, he just never gets wins.
And the only reason I think I go back to this, I think the only reason that we don't see him getting a major push is because of his language barrier.
Yeah.
I don't think he can speak the greatest English.
That's what he's got Alex for.
Well, he's a douchebag. I kind of like the guy at first, but the more I think about him with his stupid gloves on, he looks like, go play the freaking trumpets with your stupid white gloves.
Shep is not a hype man fan.
No. I agree with Paul. Penta needs gold.
Yeah.
But we need to get him on the mic. And the only thing he says is that you better say hello. That's all he says.
Steffi says she's heard that he doesn't speak any English. Martin says he doesn't win because he's a tag guy. I get that, but I just feel like Phoenix is hurt all the time. And I like Phoenix. But
he's hurt all the time.
All the time.
When you say he's a tag guy, he held the world championship in TNA. Impact. I'm sorry. That was back in Impact.
That's true. Right. But Majin brings up a good point about your boys, FTR guys. Cash and Dax usually don't win in singles either.
True. They should. At least Dax should.
True. So, but good win for Hangman. His momentum continues rolling forward.
Well, now, and you notice after he won this, the commentary brought up the rankings again. All of a sudden, Hangman, you were 3-0 in 2024. So I love that they're bringing those back.
Yep.
And obviously that fits into the storyline going in with Hangman and Swerve.
Yeah, I think they're going to come out this week. They said end of the month. So look for them this week, probably on their socials. And then we'll discuss those next Sunday. Because, I'm glad they're getting back to that. There was a report by Brian Alvarez this past week that CM Punk was a big reason why the rankings went away. He talked Tony into getting rid of the rankings.
And I can see that.
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. But I'm all for him coming back. Majin here says, I know, but he's firmly in a tag team. AEW to their point. Keep that up. All right. We then saw Wardlow against Trent Beretta. Before that, we saw Orange Cassidy backstage with Renee, agreeing to defend his title at at Revolution against Roderick Strong, but he will keep defending the title. He told Tony Khan to put people in a match on Rampage, and the winner will challenge him on Collision. So finally, we were kind of complaining about it last week. We said Orange hasn't been defending it. Now it looks like for the next handful of weeks, we're going to start getting him to defend that. Paul says, I heard Paul is number one contender in the rankings for the international championship. I would enjoy seeing you on AEW television, Paul, in a match for what it's worth. We saw the Young Bucks showing the format backstage, and they get asked what their first plan of action is as executives. They want more respect by being called their passport names. They say that they're fixing the catering problem. They're saying all this to Alex Marvez, and they're here to make sure the show's going to run smoothly. They bump in the top flight and accuse them of just showing up, saying, we like you guys. Next time we'll find you, which they're just showing up. So I like this presentation of the Bucks so far. It's totally different than anything we've seen.
They're just pricks, right?
Yes.
And I can get along with that. Especially going into Revolution, if they're going to go against obviously Sting and Darby, just being the absolute, pricks of the company. But I also think a part of this character is a slap in the face back to Punk. I really do. They're all of a sudden, we knew they were EVPs back in the day, right? We knew that. Now they're putting that as their character, and they're the only ones doing it.
Right.
Cody never did it. Omega never did it. Jericho never did it. So these guys are like, see a chance, and they're rolling with it, and it's gonna work. I really think it's gonna work, because the more they do these vignettes, by the time they hit the ring, they will get booed out of the building, and that's exactly what they want.
Yep. It's pretty genius to set up for that match at Revolution. Here's the match earlier that I was getting to before I forgot a few of the backstage vignettes. We got Trent against Wardlow. Wardlow went over. It wasn't a squash match, but Trent didn't get a ton of offense in. But Wardlow went over after the match. Best friends got in the ring. Undisputed Kingdom. Yep, about forgot their name. Undisputed Kingdom gets up on the apron, but then they call Wardlow over. So nothing between them. But we saw Trent push Orange away after Orange went over to consult him. So
second time. That's happened once before. So
yeah.
Then they kind of kissed and made up there towards the end a little bit. So a little bit different, but
yeah. So I'm all for Trent turning heel. I've been calling for it for a year and a half, 2 years on this podcast. So I hope they go forward with that eventually, because that could be a fun feud too for the international championship if Orange retains against Roderick. That could be fun.
The only thing is if you turn him heel, you really hurt that faction, because that faction really falls apart.
That's true. That's true. But they've been together so long.
They have, but Rocky Romero just kind of comes and goes as he pleases from Japan. Okay.
Yeah.
Danhausen's here and there, gone tomorrow.
Should be on TV a lot more than he is.
See him next week, and then we don't see him for a month. Then the Kentucky Gentleman hasn't wrestled in how long?
Yeah, he's injured, I think.
But if you turn Trent heel and you leave him face, like that has no spot for him. Like he literally could be kicked out of the company because of it. So
that's true. But Paul says heel Trent against OC is money. Majin, I know Majin's a big Wardlow guy. He said he still thinks Trent got too much offense in.
You gotta give Trent a little bit. I mean,
yeah, you do. You can't just squash him.
And I've talked about this on before. Trent has the build, the look, the athleticism. Trent can go.
Yeah.
You can't squash him like he's going up against Jurlistico or Luther or anybody like that.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of Luther, we saw him on this next segment. Really enjoyed this. Deonna Purrazzo face-to-face with Toni Storm. You enjoy this?
I did. I enjoy Toni Storm. I really do.
I love how they did the half half black and white, half color with the same camera angle. That was awesome.
They did, and then the tattoo came up. And when you and the first thing I noticed when they showed the tattoo on Deanna, I'm like, why is her shoe unbuckled? And then it clicked, like she's gonna freaking throw her shoe. And then it goes into Toni Storm throwing her shoe, then she throws her shoe, and I'm like, okay, makes sense. But yeah, great storytelling by the two ladies. Did you look up the actual meaning of the massage that Toni Storm was going to get at 11 o'clock that night?
No.
Okay, you just do that.
All right, just Google it. There's my homework for the night.
Yeah, just Google it. Because when she made a comment, she had a massage scheduled for 11. The type of massage that she has scheduled was when the masseuse is naked and you're naked, and yeah, you can just
all right.
But
fill in the blanks.
You fill in the blanks, but that's Toni Storm, man.
Yeah,
that's this character.
She's nuts. She's nuts.
I love it. The chin up, tits out is awesome. Throw that shoe. I mean, right now, I would say there's not a better character in professional women's wrestling right now than Toni Storm.
And I like the tie-in of them. They used to be really good friends. Got those tattoos together. I wish they would have explained the tattoo a little more.
Well,
but where they got it and everything.
But, if you watched any of Twitter, Bully Ray was like, "Give me that story."
Yeah,
like
and maybe they will.
And maybe we will. Of course, I think Bully was trying to get that for his after show of Dynamite on Wednesdays, the Busted Open After Dark, which Bully took from us. But
kicked us off Wednesdays. Thanks, Bully.
Yeah, fucking asshole. We like David LaGreca. We like Tommy Dreamer. We like Mark Henry.
Mickey James,
Thunder Rosa.
Yep.
Them two jackalopes on Sunday. You guys suck.
Justin LaBar and Jonathan Hood.
Yeah, you're right there with Bully Ray. You fuck stains.
Wow, we got explicit Shep in the house tonight, big time.
Like seriously, have you listened to those guys on Sundays?
I've listened to LaBar in the past, but I haven't listened to much of their Sunday segment. With Jonathan
nothing
Hood.
Against them. They're very knowledgeable, okay? I'm not going to take that away from them. They know what the hell they're talking about. They're enthusiastic. They're wrestling fans. But they're as dry as Mae Young's.
All right. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No fake hand coming out that.
Oh no, they're drier than shit, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
They would have make you some garlic bread and chip your damn tooth. It's so damn dry. Anyways, that's just my opinion. I love Busted Open. Anyways.
Imagine Toni Storm couldn't even handle Deanna. How is she going to handle Wendy Ricker? They got to bring her in. They've got to get her in for something, a cameo somewhere, something. So, yeah.
God, how old is Wendy now?
That's a great question. She's up there. Oh, let me see.
She in her 50s? Is she single with low self-esteem looking for fat guys?
She's 63.
Oh, yeah, it's a little much for me.
What in the world do we have on next here? But yeah, Deanna's been a great signing already for AEW. She's really doing great things for that division. Excited to see where she's going to go. Obviously, we're going to get those two a Revolution. I mean, it's not official on paper, but that's where we're going to get. Moxley then promoting Rampage on Friday. We then get Swerve Strickland versus Jeff Hardy. I gotta say, I always enjoy watching Swerve. Always get excited about Swerve, but I was like, I don't know how this match could go with Jeff. I think this was one of, if not Jeff Hardy's best AEW singles match that we've seen yet.
I was gonna go the opposite way.
Really?
Just because I don't think their styles match up, but the age doesn't. I think I think Swerve carried Jeff in this match.
All right.
Made him look good.
Okay.
I'm going to give 100% of this credit to Swerve.
Okay.
But maybe that's just me being the pessimist on the Hardy Boys right now. But
yeah, they. I do like that. I think they're going to be turning heel. I mean, we saw Jeff kind of heelish after he lost to Darby last week on Rampage. So
yeah, and I'm just betting on knowing Tony's mind. He's going to give these boys one more run.
Yeah, well, they screwed up. Well, Jeff screwed up, unfortunately, their chance last time. So.
Well, he had a little too much of that all-you-can-drink mimosa brunch.
Yeah, something.
I mean, we're all guilty of it.
Yeah.
The only problem is I got to walk to the house from the barn, not drive.
Yeah, exactly. You're a little smarter about it. Our lone women's match of Dynamite, we were just saying we like Thunder Rosa, but this match didn't deliver for me. Thunder against Red Velvet. It a little sloppy.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I started watching Dynamite about an hour. I always try to start about 9 o'clock so I don't have to watch commercials. I started a little early, about 8:30, and then I got to this match and I had to watch it. Not that I wouldn't fast forward through it, but it was rough to watch.
Yeah.
And I like Thunder. I think she's had some great matches in the past. This one just a couple of their bumps were off, their timing was off. It just like you said, it was sloppy. It was just wasn't a good showing from the two ladies.
It was her first Dynamite match in like 500 some days. I heard later on last week.
She had a back injury, and I don't know what the actual back injury was.
She was real close to being done for her career, though. So.
I don't know. Did she have surgery?
I don't know. I never heard if she did or not. But
I don't think she did. And I don't think it was 100% Thunder's fault on this too. I think Red Velvet, which she's had some good matches in the past, but she's had some shit shows too. I think they just didn't work good together. They didn't flow good together. So
after this, we got Darby and Sting to the ring, and Darby says people all the time ask him what it's like to team with Sting. He said Sting's impacted him since 2015 when he saw Sting's career end. He admits he thought, what if that was him? And then he heard Sting was coming to AEW, wondered why. As he was retired, Allen then flew to Sting's house and rolled around with him in the ring. He told Sting, dude, you still got it. You can still go. During this, Young Bucks are shown backstage in their classic old school looking headsets. Darby points out the rankings are back and they're in the top spot due to being undefeated. He said they'd be dumbasses not to take the opportunity. He tells Sting that he's still got it again. And this time he's not alone as the fans agree with him. Sting then admits he's all in. They hug it out in the ring. So in 2 weeks on Dynamite, we're getting Sting and Darby going for the tag team titles against Big Bill and Ricky Starks.
Sting and Darby win.
Yep.
And that's the way to put the belts on the Bucks.
It's definitely going to make an interesting match for our predictions on Revolution. I'll keep it at that because it adds more intrigue even to the match, even though it doesn't need more intrigue because it's Sting's last match, retirement match, everything. You got gold on the line. I mean, does Sting go out a champion, undefeated, and then Darby carries on the belts against a new partner, carries on by himself, or do the Bucks beat him and send him out of retirement that way as a loser, losing the belts? It's intrigue. I'm all for it, and you got to be for it too to get off. I mean, I know you're a huge Big Bill fan, but to get the titles off of him, I got to think you're all for that.
Fuck Big Bill. and the only reason I say that, you could call him anything in the world but Big Bill, and I'd probably be okay with it.
Big Bill.
Yeah. Call him
Big Bill.
Call him.
There you go, Paul.
No, call him Bob.
Big Bob.
No, Big Bob. Just call him Ricky Starks and Bob, and I'd be okay with it. But you take his name, which was what? Morrissey, right?
Yeah, he was W Morrissey or WM Morrissey when he first
Yeah.
came to AW, and then they.
Yeah. You take Morrissey. Just call him Morrissey. Whatever. Call him Bob. Fucking Bob.
Every time you say Bob, it makes me laugh. Of the when the Rock and Billy Gunn. You remember that when
Yeah.
Rock was just cutting a promo on him, and the heavens open up, and God comes down. Bob, well, my name's Billy. It doesn't matter
what your name is. Yeah. Just anyways. Anything but
God.
big like Tony Khan. That is an NWA Hollywood name.
You're not
Like
wrong.
if you ever watched NWA from Hollywood or Hollywood from NWA, whatever that bullshit was back in the West Coast, which, MJF was on that back in the day. Not Nigel McGuinness, gosh dang it. Nick Aldis was on that back in the day. Tim Storm was on that back in the day. NWA from Hollywood, whatever. That was what you could call him Big Bill. You could call him Big Bill there. Okay. But now we're on national television. We're on one of the top 5 or 6 channels in the market. You don't call him fucking Big Bill. Okay? Come up with something better than, I know he's 7 foot tall. I know he has long hair and he's ripped. Call him something better than Big Bill. I mean,
I gotta play some of this promo after you're done cutting your promo here, because I found
I'm done. I'm done
right.
before we get more explicit ratings.
You won King of the Ring. You got down on your knees, put your little hands together, and you said a prayer, and it sounded like this. Oh, dear God. You see, my name's Billy, and I just won King of the Ring, but there's one problem. Everybody still thinks that I absolutely suck.
Man, the Rock was great on the mic. Still is, but it didn't.
And then at that point, Billy, your house started to shake, the heavens opened up, and God himself spoke to you and said this. Bob? But my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is.
Bob. That's awesome.
Rabbit holes. Fun rabbit holes tonight.
Yes.
Yeah, good point, Paul. Big Bronson Reed, Big Omos, Big Bill, Big Shep, wow. Big show, big cast. Need to say more.
Call him Big Cass. Yeah. He was known as Big Cass.
They probably can't. It's probably trademarked by WWE, but
don't give a shit.
Majin said Big Bill himself chose that name.
Well, he's an idiot.
Well, another favorite of Shep's was in the match next. Brian Cage, with the Mogul Embassy, were trying to win the AEW World Trios Championships off the Acclaimed and Bob, aka Billy Gunn, Daddy S. Of course, the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn were successful defending their titles. So, but they did get help from the Bang Bang Scissor Gang members. So,
you knew that was going to happen. So,
yep. I still think, like I said last week, Bull Club Gold turns on them, or maybe they don't. But I think we get a unification match at Revolution for the trios.
And I think that's perfect, because as much as we focus on ROH, even on AEW television, which I don't mind, don't mind at all. I think you could have one trios champion represent both brands.
Yeah, I do too. Yep. And that's a great way to get other faces on ROH. Exactly what you just said there. I mean,
Yep.
So, what do we think of the main event? Adam Copeland versus Minoru Suzuki. My God, these two beat the shit out of each other.
They did.
I don't know if it was main event worthy. It wasn't the greatest, but
and I don't want to be a dick here. Couple of the front bumps, the front face bumps that Minoru took, I felt like he mailed it in. And maybe it was okay. Hold on, he's a legend, right? I'm not gonna harp on him. I'm gonna blame it on the cameras. I'm gonna blame it on the camera guy on AEW. The way their cameras was, it made it look bad. The way he took the bumps, made like he mailed it in. Didn't sell the bumps. Love that we saw that match. I love that was on our bingo card of 2024.
Yeah.
Because if you would ask me even if you asked me in December of 2023, I would have said, nah, no way in hell, right? But I love that we got it. I love the finish of the match where Copeland went to shake his hand and Minoru went up and walked away. It was perfect. It was perfect for his character, perfect for Adam's character. Yep. It worked out well. It was a good ending of the night.
And then Copeland afterwards said, man, I have never been hit that hard. Makes it clear he's coming for Christian Cage, but the rivalry's not over. Of course, we're going to get that Revolution. But I like what they showed Christian. I was even thinking in my head, I'm like, I think I've seen that background before. Lo and behold, that shot was from like All Out. They just used it again. So, yeah. But the Bucks were in charge of the show, so maybe they had something to do with that.
Well, reusing their resources, right?
There we go. Go. Majin talking about the Rock and Billy Gunn promo for back in the day that I played a little bit of. So Billy was going to be pushed up the card, so they did that promo to see if he could hang with the Rock, and him being silent throughout ruined that push. True story.
Yeah.
True story. Then he, a few years later, got with Chuck Palumbo and Rico, and it was Billy and Chuck.
That worked out well.
Yeah, it worked out well. So that was it for Dynamite. I thought it was an all right show. It was, it wasn't as good as the last few weeks, I thought. Well, it wasn't awful, but
the reason you say that is because of the main event. Like, I thought the show was really good, and then the main event, it peaked and then went down.
Yeah.
And nothing against Suzuki and Adam. Okay. Loved it. But it wasn't great, right? It wasn't. We had a really good show coming up, and then we had that.
Yeah.
It was kind of a letdown.
Yeah. And I see in the background you got the NFC Championship on. The San Francisco 49ers just scored to go up 10 with 3 minutes left. So sorry, Detroit fans. You're up 24-7.5, and now you're going to lose by 10 points.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was that's heartbreak.
Why do we have to have is it scripted, Tanner? What's more scripted, WWE or the NFL?
I would like to think WWE as a big NFL fan, but I don't know, man. But all the leaks were saying it was going to be the Ravens and Niners. That's not the case. It's going to be Chiefs Niners, which we saw back in 2020. But for business purposes, they know that'll drive the ratings because all the Taylor Swift fans will be watching.
For fuck's sake.
I know it. I hate I'm just glad the rest of the nation's starting to hate the Chiefs like I have been for years as a Bronco fan. It's like, I'm on the bandwagon of the hate. Come on.
It's awful.
I've been here a long time.
Well, that's because you're a Broncos fan. I get it.
Yeah, they've tormented me for years. But, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to get you a Taylor Swift poster.
They're the new Patriots. Sucks.
Yeah. At least Bill Belichick was getting. No, that's Robert Kraft. At least Robert Kraft was getting handies by an Asian girl in a massage parlor. I'd rather see that than fucking Taylor Swift.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. We got a lot of comments. Keep them coming, everybody. Appreciate it. I'm trying to keep up here and not go down too many rabbit holes. Paul, in case I don't make it to the end, here's my show of the week, wrestler of the weekend rating. Okay, so he's gonna. Steffi says, "Shut up, Eagles lost." Sorry about the Eagles. And then Majin said the NHL beats them all. Well, you're Canadian, so I expect that.
Yeah. Hey,
Go Avs.
Majin. Hey,
Go Avs,
Majin.
Marvin.
Majin. I love the NHL. Me and Martin McSwirly, we
About time to get
fly.
him, Marty.
We
Oh,
fly on that ice like it's glass.
I love to see Shep ice skate.
I can ice skate with the best of them
You
bastards.
better than Happy Gilmore.
Oh, dude. You ever seen that movie, Mighty Ducks?
Flying V, the flying Shep.
Oh, Flying V. I go Flying V right into Mama Wayne's Flying V.
Oh, that was good. Perfect setup. Perfect setup. I threw the pass for the alley oop, and Shep just slammed it home. Good one. Good one. Good one. What do we got here on Rampage? Start off with Moxley against Lee Moriarty. Shane Taylor by his side. Moxley, of course, beats Moriarty. Moriarty doesn't tap, though. Moxley makes a pass out. Afterwards,
Which Shane Taylor didn't tap either. He passed out
he
as
didn't.
well,
He
right?
passed out as well.
Yeah.
Afterwards, Moxley wanted a handshake and gets punched right in the face by Shane Taylor. And then Moriarty fires some stomps off of him, and they leave him laying. And I'm like, I was like, that's weird. Like, what direction are they going? Well, and then after that, we found out that next night on the Collision it was going to be Mox and Claudio versus Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. So I'm like, okay, if that's what's set up, I'm good with that. So, backstage, Renee was with Angelo Parker and Anna Jay. I like this. I like this segment. I thought Parker's telling Anna Jay, she's always had his support, but he can't be out there ringside tonight. He thinks he's starting to piece everything together. He asked Anna Jay if she had anything to do with the Harley Cameron situation kissing him. Anna Jay smacks him in the face. She can't believe he asked her that and said he was she was defending him against Ruby Soho. She's no longer doing that. She said she's tired of having everyone's back while no one has hers. She says she's done. So aggressive side of Anna Jay. I like that.
I do too.
We then got Konosuke Takeshita, with the Dunkhouse family against Christopher Daniels. One of our rare CD appearances.
And he beat the living shit out of him.
Yes, he did. Takeshita's looking more aggressive week in, week out, which is great. That's what his character should be. He pretty much squashed CD. After the match, Callis grabbed the mic, said Don Callis' family takes everything that can be taken. He says Chris Jericho took 33 years from him. He can never get it back. They've started to take everything from him, including Kenny Omega and Sammy Guevara. He says Jericho kept coming back, but it's time to end things. He challenges Jericho to a match on Takeshita's behalf and says when all is said and done, nothing will be left. So getting that rematch that the two had over in Japan a month or so ago.
Which this will be the rubber match because Takeshita beat him in America, Jericho beat him in Japan. So we're gonna get the rubber match at Revolution, right?
Well, we get Jericho against Takeshita next week, and then
next week, okay,
and then Kyle Fletcher against Jericho the week after that. It looks like. So I don't know what they're setting up there. I can't really tell where this is going. That's the thing with Jericho stories anymore. I can't tell where the hell they're going.
If they're going to use Jericho this much, you would think this is maybe he kind of went to Tony and said, "Look, I got one more year in me.
Yeah.
Like let's rock and roll. Hopefully,
he signed through 27, but maybe some of that's going to be backstage stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to see Jericho till 27.
Oh boy.
I don't want to see that.
Paul is picking Collision as show of the week. Daniel Garcia as his wrestler of the week, 6.8. Dynamite wasn't exciting for me as I was hoping for. It was a good week at AEW, just not what I was hoping for. And how can you not enjoy the main event of Collision? No, we'll definitely get into that here in a little bit. We then got Anna Jay versus Ruby Soho, who the Outcasts were there alongside her at ringside. Anna Jay picks up a good win. So, even though Ruby Soho takes the L, I like that. Anna Jay won with the Queen Slayer, and she needed that. She said she's doing this for herself, doing this on her own, get some wins. So, ranking system coming back, that puts her in a strong position to eventually go after either the TBS or the world title again.
Yeah, I like this little story they had with Ruby and Anna Jay. He had Cool Hand in the middle of it, right?
Mm-hmm. Daddy Magic on commentary.
Dude, Daddy Magic on commentary is awesome.
It's awesome.
Like, I hope we get that more. I know he wants to be in the ring more, but he is money on commentary. So, yeah, good little storyline there. Good little backstage vignettes in the past between the two, and then I don't mind her going over Ruby at all in this one.
Yeah. Martin said Jericho said he'd probably go full time to the desk when he retires in the ring, and then he says Daddy Magic is a decent commentator. I would take Daddy Magic over Chris Jericho personally in commentary.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. The main event was the.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I'd take Daddy Magic over. Are we going to talk about a lot of commentaries here, or just we're just going to compare him to Jericho?
I was just comparing him to Jericho because I think AEW's got a pretty good commentary team. I know you're not a fan of the Man in the Mask. I think he does a pretty good job.
He's better nowadays. I mean, how long have I been doing this podcast? A year and a half, probably.
Coming up on 2 years in March.
Okay, 2 years in March.
Yeah.
He's grown on me. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But if we went 2 years ago, I would have said, "Get the."
Yeah, you would have. You would have.
Yeah.
He's grown on you. Orange Cassidy's grown on you.
He has. Both of them has. Yeah. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Look how open-minded Shep is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very open-minded.
I can't even think of too many people who went the opposite way for you off the top of my head. I'm sure there's some, but
no. I'm like I said, I'm open-minded as hell. Yeah. Fuck Big Bill though.
Well, you've never been a fan of his, so it wasn't like you reverted it either way. The main event on Rampage was a freshly squeezed number one contender 4-way match for the international championship. It was Commander, the Butcher, Kip Sabian, and El Hijo del Vikingo. I was a little surprised by the winner of this match, to be honest. I thought Vikingo would be the winner. It was Commander.
Yeah, I thought it was too. Actually, I thought I could see Kip Sabian come out.
Yeah. I knew Butch didn't have a chance. Poor Big Butch.
But of the luchadors, I thought it would have been Vikingo for sure. But I don't think they want Vikingo to take a loss on a 1-on-1 loss on television. So I mean, kind of worked knowing that Commander was going to get the win and then obviously take the L on Collision.
Yep. And I see next week on Rampage, we're going to get some CMLL talent. Some luchadors coming. They ran a little vignette promo thing on Collision last night to kind of explain who's coming and what they're all about.
Don't you say Forbidden Door, though, because that's some gimmick bullshit, according to Trips.
Yep.
Anyway.
Stuffy here. I may get some heat for this. Not a Bucks fan. Hey, to each their own.
I mean, come on. You don't like the Milwaukee Bucks? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, they are pretty stupid. Second in the East, and they fire their coach. Kind of dumb, but I don't understand the NBA. I really don't understand the logic there. But
you follow way more NBA because I had no idea the Bucks were in second place. So
then they hired Doc Rivers, who does less with more talent than anybody else probably in the history of the NBA. So good luck, Milwaukee.
I mean, he's a fucking doctor, Tanner. How can you not Tanner him?
That's true. It's true. But I know a lot.
If I call myself Doc Shep, you know how many podcasts are going to come after me? Because I'm a doctor.
Quite a few.
None.
Shep as a doctor. That's scary. But no, I know a lot of people who don't like the Bucks. I also know a lot of people who like the Bucks. I like the Bucks, but I understand where people come from. So.
Do you think though? I like the heel Bucks we're getting right now, the EVPs. But do you think, let's go back in the last 12 months, do you think the Bucks have had that much influence in the backstage to piss some talent off, to treat talent the way it is? Do you think that shit's true? Let's be honest. Do you think it's true? Because, I mean, CM Punk left, right? Whether he's a bullheaded son of a buck or not, there's just been some really negative things said about the locker room of AEW and the positivity of the locker room of WWE. So, I mean, Are those guys that big of assholes, do you think? Really?
I would like to think no, but it just depends. It depends. It seems like some people at AEW say they're great, some don't. So maybe it's you got to be in their clique. I don't know. Um man, it's hard telling. I don't know. I definitely think the morale around AEW changed a little bit when Cody left. I don't know what exactly that means. I'm just hoping they get back on foot this year, and the shows have been solid so far. And Tony tweeted over the weekend that 2024 is going to be like 2021 was AEW when they were probably at their peak of hotness. So I don't know. I that's a good question. I don't know what their exact roles are as EVPs. I feel like they probably don't have as many hats as they did in the start of AEW. I'm guessing Tony's just taking on more and more because the dude never sleeps.
He loves that booger
That's a good
sugar.
question, though. That's a good question, though. I mean, I would like to think that. I mean, like for instance, I know Thunder Rosa is very complimentary of the Bucks and how they are backstage. Probably just depends who you ask.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, I tell you what, that's a goal of 2024. Okay. We need to work on, and I'll help as much as I can. We need to get some AEW talent on this podcast.
Oh, it'd be great. I love it. I love it.
Let's start soliciting and using our resources to have some AEW talent on this podcast by the end of the year.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I have some ideas. That'd
be awesome. Majin says, I can't hate the Bucks. He says, I don't think they are. The room seems to be fine since Punk left, really. I think it's improved. I mean, I like CM Punk for his in-ring work. I mean, he's a polarizing figure, but I think things were just so bad at the end, toxicity in the locker room, that probably had to get a little better when he left.
I mean, I look at that all-out scrum he had, the post-media scrum, and I mean, it was great. It was very entertaining to me, but obviously he was just digging.
Yeah, Moxley, I think, is the locker room leader. I think Bryan Danielson is. Eddie Kingston's very complimentary of the Bucks, like Majin said. So, yeah, I think some other people have stepped up.
Eddie Kingston doesn't like anybody. So
no, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. We started off.
All right, Tanner, you start your next read. I'm gonna have to get a refill.
Refill time. Put on a shirt. Refill time. We started Collision with kind of like we started Rampage. We saw Moxley beat he beat Lee Moriarty. I was just blanking. I'm hearing Shep's ice. He didn't mute his mic, so I'm just hearing the ice. Actually, I'm going to mute his mic until he gets back, so that way I can concentrate. But he beats Lee Moriarty. And then we saw the attack. So it was Mox and Claudio against the Shane Taylor promotion. Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty. This match got some good time, and there was some heavy hitting in this match. Once again, BCC gets the win in this match. And it's Moxley stomping Taylor repeatedly before putting him in a rear naked chokehold. And Moxley gets the win when Shane Taylor passes out. So once again, Moxley gets a win with the submission, but Shane Taylor nor Lee Moriarty submit. They pass out. So I am digging that Moxley's wearing down his opponents to the point they just pass out. They don't even tap. So I was fine with this match opening up Collision. I don't have too much more to say about it.
Well, when you say they don't tap out when they pass out, I get it, right?
Yep.
But does that mean they're the faces in the match, and Moxley's the heel? Because wouldn't you kind of
he has some sympathy for the person who passes out, I guess.
Right. I don't have any sympathy for Shane Taylor or Lee Moriarty is what I'm getting at.
Right. I've always said, in the past, it's like if somebody passes out, they come away looking like a brighter star than they entered the match. But now we're seeing Moxley do this on a consistent basis 3 weeks in a row. So maybe that's just the way he's going to finish people off from now on. And we've seen the BCT do that a lot with the hammer fist or the elbows over the last year or so. But I don't know, 'cause I don't see him doing big things on AEW with Shane Taylor promotion right now.
No,
So
I don't either.
obviously I'll say this though, for the drama it caused, Punk's leave was necessary as now locker room leaders have stepped forward. Mox, Danielson, Kingston, Jericho, etc. Yeah. We see Commander. We were just talking about him on Rampage as he became number one contender to go against Orange Cassidy for the International Championship. We saw him against Orange for the match. United Kingdom, pretty much. United Kingdom, Undisputed Kingdom. I keep screwing that up tonight. They pretty much said they're going to help Commander win, and then in a few weeks, at March 3rd at Revolution, then he can lose the title to Roderick. And Commander's like, whatever, because Roderick grabbed Commander's hand to do the handshake. No surprise here. Orange gets the win. He hits the orange punch in the end. Then Roderick Strong pretends to give the title to Orange Cassidy and drops at his feet, which Nigel McGuinness leans into his heel commentator role and says, Butterfingers.
Do you see Nigel wrestling?
I want to see one more match.
Well, do you see him and Daniel Bryanson and London?
Daniel Bryanson. I love when you do that. Brian Danielson.
Brian Danielson. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Well, if he's got to do it, he better do it pretty quickly.
Well, if Nigel's so harsh on him on commentary.
Yeah, he is. I know, on purpose.
On purpose. So All In London would be a unbelievable stage, right?
Yeah.
For him to have a comeback match and maybe one last match.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and if they need to sell some tickets, that could be their little, ace up their sleeve. So,
yeah.
Anyways,
True.
I'm not talking about that.
That's true.
But yeah, he's a great heel commentator.
Mm-hmm.
And this was well done. The match was whatever. Whenever.
I still like that we're getting over a month's build for an international title feud. We have not seen that, so I can dig that.
Yeah.
Backstage, we saw Daddy Magic with a bloody Daniel Garcia, and he's tending to him when we go to break. And we saw Rick Knox coming in with his huge pants, coming in to figure out what's going on.
So big pants.
Get the dude some pants.
He makes enough money. He can wear. Anyway, go ahead. Just skip it. Just fucking skip it.
Skip next.
Just skip
Mariah May versus Lady Frost. Mariah May is a new acquisition, of course, to AEW. I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Shep, and maybe you haven't seen it. I think Lady Frost is all elite talent. I think she quietly signed a little while ago. She just doesn't use that much.
Yeah, she was in NWA and in TNA.
Mm-hmm.
If she has signed, I missed that.
I'm going to go check the roster page to see if she's on their official roster page.
It wouldn't surprise me. I think she's a very talented female wrestler as well. And I think she can go. So wouldn't be a bad signing for TK for sure.
Did you know Paige Van Zant's still on the official roster page for the women? It's interesting.
Was it a link to her OnlyFans?
No. Lady Frost is not on the official roster page.
No,
so maybe she's a part-time contract or something.
And then was it the promo on her was great. They made fun of her haircut, her name. It was really good. So
yes, it was. Arn Anderson still listed as a coach. Haven't seen Double A for a while. All right. Cool.
He's just holding his Glock.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Modern said Lady Frost is on ROH. Okay. Here we go. So yeah, we saw these two wrestle. No surprise, but Mariah May went over. She wasn't going to lose this match. She's 2-0 now in AEW. So it's fine. I thought it was more smooth than the women's match on Dynamite was. Even though I think the women's match on Rampage was the best women's match of the week.
It was.
In my opinion. my opinion. Backstage, we see Swerve announced that Leona, I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's one of the big Samoan dudes from the Mogul Embassy. He's gonna be Hangman Page's opponent on Dynamite. So we still know Hangman's gonna pick for Swerve yet. So up next we got Eddie Kingston versus Willie Mack. I know Shep, you always enjoy when Willie Mack's on TV.
Good to see Willie Mack. I enjoy Willie Mack a lot.
It was a pretty quick match. Of course, Eddie gets the win. Takes him out with a back elbow. But Eddie's going up the ramp. Bryan Danielson's music hits. Danielson walks down the ramp, ignoring Kingston. Kingston glares at Danielson from the ramp, decides to join commentary. Eddie said, "That's real cute, Danielson." Kingston said he's really here for Yuji Nagata, which another cool one from TK. He loves to do that. He loves to pull these legends from Japan and get them over for matches. I'm guessing this was a Bryan Danielson request. But fun match. All these two guys, there was no question Danielson was going to go over Nagata. But he brought some out from the old vet, I thought.
I thought Nagata looked a lot better than what I expected to see. I mean, Nagata's got to be late 50s, right?
Yeah, the dude was on the WCW N64 video games in the late 90s. That tells you anything.
So, no, I'm glad we got to see him. So, yeah, it was a good match. Danielson, I love the ignore of Kingston coming up the ramp, Danielson coming down. I love that. And then I loved at the end, he shakes Nagata's hand, walks up the ramp, looks at Kingston, flips him the bird. Well, yep, and then just goes away.
We're gonna get those two at Revolution. It looks like
perfect. Yep. And I think those two at Revolution, whether you want to have a title change right away, I think those two at Revolutions will be worked so stiff it'll literally think they're beating the shit out of each other.
And talk about a tough prediction to make. That's gonna be a tough match prediction because do you give Danielson another big L, and do you pull the title off Eddie this fast? It's gonna be a tough one.
Well,
maybe for some, maybe not for some.
Maybe for some. Paul will screw it up. So
yeah, he's only here to be wrong. Get your Paul 318 shirts on kickingoutshop.com. We got Serena Deeb in action, first time in 15 months. Talk about technician in the ring for the women's division, Serena Deeb. 459 days to be exact. She was greeted with a welcome back chant, and she took care of Robin Renegade pretty easily. Then she got on the mic after the match, asked if the crowd missed her, asked herself for 15 months if she was coming back, how she'd come back. Says it's damn good to be back. Says she's back to elevate the women's division, to put wrestling back in All Elite Wrestling and become champion. It's good to have. Man, this women's division, they're getting healthy. They're getting some new names in.
Was she injured?
I think she was disciplined. I think she got some trouble.
Oh, okay.
I think she might have been injured then disciplined, or vice versa. A little bit of both.
She on the shit, boys. She on the juice or what?
I don't think it was that. I think she blew up on somebody backstage verbally and then got in some trouble. If I remember that correctly. So.
Oh, she ran the mouth.
Yeah.
Well, at least she didn't bite somebody on their forearm.
True. Didn't throw a chair that we know of.
Didn't throw it. Well, she got suspended, so.
That's true. That's true.
No, good to see her back. I want to see her and Deanna.
Yeah.
I'm sure we saw that in TNA at some point, Impact or whatever, right?
Yeah, we probably did.
I'm sure they worked together there, but I want to see it on AEW. So,
and I got to make mention, I know I talk about this gal every week, but Mercedes Moné, the latest rumors, or she's still All Elite bound. Somebody, I don't know if it was Andrew Zarian or somebody on Twitter, some wrestling journalist, said that they expect her to be All Elite after Revolution, but that AEW is going to tease it big time ahead of time.
Well, I think she needs to show up at Revolution. I think she needs to show up in the Tony Storm match. Purrazzo match. Sorry,
mm-hmm.
We need to see that match at Revolution. I think she needs to come down at the end of that match. So,
Oh, Maj, I'm glad I did not know about this. He said that Serena D was injured, then had some seizures that kept her out longer. I did not know about the seizures. So okay.
Oh yeah, you thought it was disciplined.
Well, she did get disciplined at one time, but maybe all of this other stuff prolonged it. So I'm glad she's okay. Then that's
Yeah.
some serious stuff.
Yeah.
So, after Daniel Garcia attacked, we saw Mark Briscoe, your boy, offer
My
his
boy. I
offer
love
his
that
help.
dude.
Offer his help to FTR. FTR said it would be Garcia's decision, but if they need a replacement, he's the first guy they'll go to. So, as the match starts, FTR makes their way down to the ring. Briscoe's music hits. He comes out, getting all fired up. But before he even gets midway down the ramp, lights go out. House of Black come out and attack. Briscoe throw him off the ramp through a table. So then it's a 2-on-3 match to begin. This was a cage match. It was a what would they call it? The escape the cage elimination match. So you had to escape the cage. First teams, all three escape the cage wins. So they're fighting outside for several minutes. And then finally Garcia comes down to a big pop from the crowd with the chair in hand with his head all bandaged up. And man, this match got a lot of time, but it was fun.
I've been pretty critical on Garcia in the past, right? But I like him with FTR. I like him in this situation. I thought this was the match of the week. If you compare all the shows, this was the match of the week.
Yep, I agree. Garcia, the best thing for him was the Continental Classic. He loses. Finally gets that win over Brody King.
Yep.
Crowd loves it. And then now this partnership with the FTR is getting him over. I mean, and this is a contract year for him, and the crowd's starting to get behind him. He's starting to look like that future star that I think Tony and a lot of the people backstage were hoping that he could become.
Great potential, great talent.
Lodging. Yes. Gotta get my Garcia dance in. And you know this woo's giving me some energy, Shep. It's giving me some energy, Shep. So gotta do a swerve dance.
Obviously it makes you do some dumb shit.
Well, I do that every day of my life.
Oh,
so,
okay. Back to the great match at Collision.
Yeah. Back to the important stuff.
I think he looked great here. Now, when you say to make him a star, I don't know if you can make him a main event star. I don't know if he's got the size. And you know me, I'm a
Adam Cole small.
He's smaller than Adam Cole though.
Height wise.
I just think I don't know. And again, he could change. He's young. He's in his 20s, man. Could you imagine if we judged, Stone Cold Steve Austin in his 20s?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you look at back in the WCW days of Stone Cold when he was the Hollywood Blondes and yada, 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 like, he's never going to be fucking anything.
Right.
Okay.
Stunning Steve.
Yeah, Stunning Steve. So we can be wrong. There's many, many years to go. But tonight last night, I watched it tonight.
I watched it this morning. So
last night, Daniel Garcia looked like a bona fide star.
Yes, he did. Now it's the title of our episode tonight. Daniel Garcia shines. So
yeah,
absolutely. Meant to say this earlier. Figures Shep would wear McSorley, would hype up McSorley when he's wearing Oilers colors too.
I don't know what that means.
I think he's actually wearing blue and red for Cubs, but it looks orange and red a little bit on this camera.
This is a Cubs shirt, by the way.
Yeah. So it's a little close to Oilers, but it's red and red blue. So
Oilers, I'm a huge Oilers fan.
Edmonton
Let's go Oilers. Edmonton, yeah. I have an Edmonton jersey in my background over that way. I'll get one next week, okay? Just to shut up on the Canadian people.
Rey Mysterio's small. He's a former world champ. That's true. That was
true.
I've had that lightning in the bottle with Eddie Guerrero's passing.
I've had that debate with many of people. Many of my friends always bitch about that. I'm like, he was, but I saw a house show back in the day in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and it was he was a champion, and he went up against Mark Henry, and they worked well together. So,
Yep. Ray's a legend. Ray's a legend. I'm not
Right.
going to put Daniel Garcia up there with Rey Mysterio yet. So.
Not yet, but there's a potential there for sure.
Yep. But this match was fun. We saw Dax and Brody King go through the cage door, so they were the first two out. Then we saw Cash and Buddy Matthews fighting outside the ring, propelled, I don't know how many feet up because this thing's 20 feet. We also saw Cash jump off the top onto everybody, which
he didn't care. He didn't care.
We saw Cash take a back bump through the table. Then we saw Buddy Matthews take a bump kind of through a halfway table, so they were out. And then we saw Julia Hart get involved. She missed Daniel Garcia. And, Malachi's beating him up. So Malachi goes to exit. He's got to win. Garcia comes yelling at him with mist clear down to his midsection saying, come finish me off. Come finish me off. Malachi's like, all right, I'll finish you off. Garcia baits him, apologizes him onto a chair. Garcia goes up over the top, down. FTR and Garcia win. Yeah, because Mark Briscoe did help. He slammed Malachi's head shut in the door when Malachi was trying to get out. So, yes, good stuff. Good stuff.
Great main event. Main event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of people were complaining online, of course. Why would you waste this when you're going against the Rumble? Well, they still have a damn wrestling promotion TV show to put on. So if you're going to put it on, you got to try to put on the best product you got out.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I think you go in there and you look like, look, I'm going up against the Rumble, but I'm gonna go full fledged, man. And they did, and I can't argue that. So.
And you know what? All those people said, oh, AEW people don't watch WWE. WWE people don't watch AEW. I think there's some of that, but look at the pop Jade got last night.
Great pop.
And I know WWE did a good job, press release when they signed her, had her show up at some PLEs without wrestling at first when they signed her. But yeah, that pop last night, majority of those people in Tampa watch both.
Yes. Yes, they do. And majority of those people, like me, I watched the Rumble live and then I watched Collision earlier today.
I did too.
And I'm okay with that. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. We're proponents on this podcast to watch what you want to watch. Don't watch what you don't want to watch. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Hey, we're lucky right now. There's so much good shit right now.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. So, and then coming into Mania season, all the stuff around Mania, all the independents that we get to watch, or I watch on Fight TV. I think everybody should pay the $5.99 or $6.99 or whatever the hell it is now. All the stuff you get free for Fight TV right now, going into Mania season, is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So,
yep. Very spoiled to be wrestling fans in 2024. That is for sure. I know Paul already submitted his show and rating and Wrestler of the Week. Shep, I'll let you do the honors and go next.
My show of the week was Collision for sure.
I am going to agree. We'll be 3 for 3 on that.
My wrestler of the week is going to be Cash Wheeler. He's one crazy son of a bitch.
He is.
And I'm the more I watch of him in his tag team wrestling, the more I watch of the passion, Dax just spills over to Cash. So they're one and the same, right?
Yep.
So he's my wrestler of the week. You want my rating on Dynamite or Collision? What are you doing here?
Let's go Collision because that's the show you rated your favorite. So
I'm gonna go Collision of 7.7.
Oh wow, almost a full number above Paul. Paul gave it 6.8.
I love Collision this week.
Yep.
And a lot of it had to do with the main event. A lot of it had to do with the main event.
100%. Well, I wanted to take Daniel Garcia, but Paul already took him. You took Cash, so I'm gonna take the third member of FTR. I'm taking your boy Dax. I haven't done that in a long time.
He's a legend.
Yeah, part of the winning team. Solid backstage. On there wasn't much he said on the part with Briscoe, but it was still good. So yeah, and I'm Collision, of course, was like I said my show of the week. I'll go in the middle of you both. I'm gonna go 7-3. If I was to rate Dynamite, though, I was going to give Dynamite a 6.6. Wasn't as strong as it has been the weeks prior, but still wasn't awful.
Dynamite was a little less to be desired. So
Majin said Dynamite's the only one he watched this week, sadly. And he's taking Swerve Wrestler of the Week. Swerve's a good bet every week.
Swerve pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good. So
yeah, another week of good AEW action. A lot, some stories advancing towards Revolution. I mean, so Revolution, we only know a couple matches, right? But we can already predict a lot of the matches. That's what I'm liking about this card. I mean, we it's not official, but we can see the writing on the wall. It's going to be Joe versus Hangman versus Swerve. We're going to get Orange versus Roderick Strong. We're going to get the Bucks versus Sting and Darby.
Yep.
Probably with the tag titles on the line. We're going to get probably Copeland and Christian for the TNT. I'm guessing for the trios, we're going to get Acclaimed versus Bullet Club Gold. So Bang Bang Scissor Gang. I could be wrong there, but I think that's where it's going.
No, I think they'll unify those.
I think we're getting Eddie versus Bryan Danielson. TBS title, I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say we're going to get Julia Hart versus Thunder Rosa. It's just how much they're featuring Thunder on TV. We haven't seen them interact yet, but
in most of those matches that you talked about, there's belts on the line.
Yeah. Yep.
A lot of belts.
We're gonna get something with Jericho in Don Callis' family. I don't know what that is yet. You get some combination of Takeshita, Fletcher, Hobbs, Sammy, Jericho. Well, Paul White could make a return. I don't know. He was on the cruise with Jericho over the weekend.
No. Oh, not. No.
Anybody else I'm forgetting off the top of my head?
I don't think so.
Any belts? Something? Well, no. That Danielson Kingston would be for the belt, the crown title, I guess. Yeah.
Which I notice he's carrying both belts around still.
Yeah, he likes to do that.
So we don't have just one belt for the Continental Classic or Continental Championship or whatever it is. So
yeah, but it's shaping up to be a good card. And what I appreciate is we already know the card, and we're still over a month away. So I mean that's pretty rare with AEW. So
yes, and I think that could lead up some really really good live television.
Yeah, and it's going to get a good buy. I mean, it's pretty much sold out. Greensboro, Sting's last match, pretty much hyping that up. And then with rumors of Mercedes and Okada. I know. Here's another prediction I have. So far, Moxley's got nothing, right? I bet it's Moxley versus Ospreay. Ospreay's going to be over in the company by then. No way you're not putting him on Revolution.
So off the bat.
Mm-hmm. Why not?
Yeah, kick off the show.
And they have the history just with Finley, just Wrestle Kingdom last month. So you can play off that too. So yeah, I don't know what else you do with Mox at this point.
That's a pretty loaded pay-per-view already. So
Revolution's usually, and like I said, AEW always steps up their games when it comes to pay-per-views, but Revolution's arguably from start to finish, bell to bell, usually the best one of the year. For whatever reason it is. I don't know, in my opinion. I mean, last year we got MJF, Danielson, the classic Iron Man match. 2020, before the pandemic, we had the Bucks versus Hangman and Omega.
You know how much money that cost me with them damn pickles? Remember the post media scrum? Eating them damn pickles. I still buy them damn pickles. So
yeah. Shep should get an Oilers McSorley jersey since he hypes him up even more than Wayne Gretzky.
Yeah, you know what? Wayne Gretzky was a puss. All right, I'll do that. Actually, I meet my Canadian buddies here in a month, in March, so I'll handle that. I'm gonna give you that McSorley jersey and fuck Wayne Gretzky.
I can't get on board with that one, Shep. I'm sorry.
Well, he was a prima donna.
Prima donna or not, there's a reason. And when you're nicknamed the Great One, you've done some great things.
Yeah, he played in Indianapolis.
He did. He
did.
got his career in the started in the minors before he went to the Oilers and then the Kings and then the Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
All good. All good. All you Canadian people out there, don't worry about it. I don't just like Wayne Gretzky. I just think Marty McSorley's a badass. Just get over it.
He was a goon.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Right. Every team needs one or two or three.
Every team needs one.
Anything else, Shep, that you want to discuss before we wrap this bad boy up?
No, I think we're good. I think we kicked off this podcast with WWE and the Royal Rumble.
It might happen a time or two this season because it's Mania season.
It is Mania season, and we're invested because of Cody. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
We're invested because of Cody.
Yeah.
So I think we talked pretty good about there, and we're gonna follow Mania going in. Mania's going to, Raw's going to Netflix starting in 2025.
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. See, so much news this week. I forgot to even mention that.
$5 billion.
10 years.
10 years.
That's going to change not only sports entertainment, but sports and streaming as well.
Well, we go back 2 weeks ago, and NFL's on Peacock.
Yes.
And Roger Goodell, who is the fucking devil. He's a piece of shit. The worst sports administrator, commissioner, whatever, in the world. Piece of shit. He might as well be right up there with Vince McMahon. Just say.
I will allow that Vince drop there because I agree with that.
Only time I'm saying that. Yeah. NFL has 2 games on Peacock instead of cable television, and there was a lot of feedback that was not good. So
yes, but yet it was the number 2 search thing that night, and their subscription count went out the roof.
They did. It worked, but it was a shit move. It was a dick move.
It is. Well, but, and I know you and I know a lot of people following in this podcast probably don't give a crap, but you and I are Big Ten basketball fans, right? We live in the state of Indiana. We like different schools, but that's a conversation for another day.
Yep.
Peacock likes to put a lot of the Big Ten basketball games now, or Big Ten likes to put a lot of the games on Peacock.
Well, I think every team got 5 games on Peacock.
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. So
it's part of the new agreement.
And at the end of the year, IU Purdue, last game of the season, is on Peacock, right?
No, they already had their Peacock game and down in Bloomington. The next one in West Lafayette in middle of February is on Fox. So.
Okay. It's on Fox.
But yes.
I thought the last game of the year was going to be on Peacock, but
no, they already had their Peacock. Purdue's already been on Peacock 5 times. Yeah, they had 4 straight Tuesdays on Peacock. It kind of became a running joke. So,
all right. So you're a Purdue fan, right?
Yes. Proud.
You tell me that your head coach does not look like Shane McMahon.
No, he does. You've told me that for a long time. You've told me that for a long time. He does look like Shane O'Mac. His hair, big time.
Yeah,
big time.
He might be hiding. Shane O'Mac might be a hell of a basketball coach. We just don't know about it.
If Matt Painter comes out and does the Shane O'Mac, his dance moves and that'd be gold.
I'm not a Purdue fan. If he came out and did that, I might be a Purdue fan. Okay,
that'd be pretty great.
If that would help you guys win the first round of the NCAA tournament, which you can't do, I would.
You see, and we deserve that because we lost to a 16 seed last year. But what always frustrates me is people forget the year before, even though they lost to St. Peter's, which was a 15 seed, which was bad. That was in the Sweet 16. People forget that they beat Texas to get through the Sweet 16. But hopefully this is the year. I don't know. I'm used to pain and heartbreak come March, so we'll see.
Hey, I'm a Cubs fan.
Yeah, we all got to suffer a little bit, right?
I can't hold you any different than me.
So. Cubs just have money and don't want to spend it. So
no shit.
I don't understand that.
Anyways, we're talking about wrestling. Wrestling.
we've been talking about wrestling. It's a great time to be a wrestling fan. This energy drink sucks. Ric Flair's Woo Energy. Don't get it. I still haven't finished it. I said I would, but it gets worse every drink I take.
It's awful.
I mean, I can't taste the mushrooms, which is good because I'm not a mushroom fan. I don't, but I'm more of a texture guy when it comes to mushrooms. That's why I don't like them. But it's I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. Kind of cough syrupy and just. I'm not the biggest energy drink fan either, but I don't mind them. I just don't drink them very often. But that's not good. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money. Go get MGF pickles or heck, even get Logan Paul Prime. That's better than this stuff.
Oh, I've never tried Prime.
They got some good flavors. I'll give it that. And I did the hydration kind. I didn't do the energy drink. I did the actual one that's decent for you. So
now the pickles, MGF pickles, Kalen pickles.
Yeah,
fucking money.
Yes. Spend your money on that.
You spend your money on those.
Yeah, spend your money on those. So
Prime, yeah. If you want, YouTube star, no.
He is the U.S. champion, but that's a rabbit hole for another day. That's a rabbit.
Yeah. All right.
Just says every drink I take. Yeah, it gets worse and worse. I'm not fishing it. So, all right, we'll wrap this bad boy up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please give us a follow at Kicking Out Pod on social media, on X, Facebook, Instagram. Yep, almost forgot that one. On YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're always notified. Always notified when we are going live with these, even though we try to go live every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Give us that rating and five-star rating and review wherever you listen to your favorite podcast app. And make sure you are subscribed. If you're not, just make sure you're following us. That really helps us out. You can follow me at Tanner Lee 9 on social media. You can follow Shep at DShep27. Paul at Paul Zartman 921. Buy our merchandise at kickingOutShop.com. With all that said, I'm Tanner Lee. He's Austin Shepard. Tune in next week as we kick out yet another podcast.